Okay, participants. Yesterday we already covered introduction, literature review, and the initial part of methodology. Introduction, we know how to justify the need for your research. So you have to present it. What is a major problem? Why the research is needed? Okay, the significance of this research and a problem statement you have to mention. Then you have to mention the research questions. What are the main research questions? What are the objectives? What are the hypothesis statements? Okay, the last sentence of your introduction will be what is the aim of your research or objective of your research. So objectives we know, we have to frame it as general objective and specific objective. General objective will be having all the components in the to be measured in the research. Okay, estimation of an outcome, along with that association of various variables with the outcome variable. Okay, example we showed yesterday. Okay, if the study is on knowledge about cardiovascular disease risk factors and its association with various socio-demographic factors. So, outcome variable is estimation of knowledge level on cardiovascular disease risk factor. Then hypothesis will be like that. If the is there any association between knowledge level on cardiovascular disease risk factor with various socio-demographic factors? Okay, understood now. It's clear, right? So then we can go to the, okay. After that, we have gone through literature review. How important the literature review is and how to frame the literature review. Then we saw how to write the evidence table, how to prepare an evidence table. Evidence table means literature review will be subdivided into various subheadings. Like knowledge about cardiovascular disease means one component, one subchapter of the literature review will be about knowledge or about cardiovascular disease risk factor. One component will be prevalence of cardiovascular diseases, and second component will be severity and magnitude of cardiovascular disease. Okay, then various factors affecting the knowledge level. There are subcomponents in a in literature review. Understood? Evidence table will combine all the available literature, available evidence in a tabular form. Okay, that we have discussed. Okay, then after that, what we discussed, literature review, the evidence that we collect should be relevant and authentic. That's very important, huh? So that's a third component, huh? Then we went to the methodology chapter. Chapter 3 is methodology. So study design. We have gone through various study designs. Then we saw study period, study setting. What is the reference population? Reference population means it's a population to which the study finding will be referred to. Then sample population. Sample population means from the population we are selecting a sample. There are different type of sampling methods. Probability sampling method and non-probability sampling method. Probability sampling method means what? Each sample, individuals in the sample will have equal probability to be selected. Each individual in the population will have equal probability to be selected in the sample. Understood? That's a sample probability sampling method. Okay. Non-probability sampling method means what? Each individual in the population will not have equal probability to be selected in the sample. Understood? Participants, can you give some example of non-probability sampling methods? Hello. Can you give some example of non-probability sampling method? Convenience sampling, very good. Abdullah, yeah. Convenience sampling. Any other non-probability sampling method we discussed? Snowball sampling, yeah, purposive sampling, snowball sampling also we discussed. Okay, probability sampling method is otherwise, yeah, consecutive sampling, very good, very good. Consecutive sampling, snowball sampling, purposive sampling, convenience sampling. Okay, probability sampling method is otherwise known as representative sampling. Okay, representative sampling. The representative sampling method is another name for probability sampling method. Okay. So, probability sampling method is otherwise known as representative sampling method. Why it is known as representative sampling? You know, sample is a representative of the population. Okay. Non-representative sample means sample is not a representative of the population. Understood. So please keep in mind. So this convenience sampling, purposive sampling, consecutive sampling, and all. Snowball sampling. Another one. Can you give some example of um, non no representative sampling or probability sampling? Can you give some example of the representative sampling or probability sampling? That means a sample is a representative of the population, or each member in the population will have equal probability to be selected in the sample. Yes, very good, Dr. Vishal. Symbol random sampling. Any other, can you say? Symbol random sampling. Yeah, systematic random sampling. Very good. Systematic random sampling. Cluster sampling, very good. Cluster sampling, we saw, no? We are going to some schools and selecting samples from each school. That will form a cluster sampling. Cluster is a subset of the population which shares some similar characteristics. If you go to school, all will be school age children. Most of the children will be from similar socioeconomic status. Stratified random sampling is possible when the population is stratified. It is in different strata. Okay, in Malaysia, there are different ethnic groups are there. So different ethnic groups form different strata. So stratified sampling means from Malay community, we select some sample. From Chinese community, we select some sample. From Indian community, we select. Then from others also we select. So it will be a stratified sampling method. When you are doing stratified sampling method, you have to follow probability sampling. That means proportionate sampling. Okay, proportionate sampling means what? So each strata will be chosen according to the proportion in the actual population. So 60% of the community are formed by Malays means 60% of sample also should be from Malay community. 20%, 30% are from Chinese community means 30% of sample also from Chinese. 10% are Indian community means 10% of sample from Indian community. So that's a proportionate to the distribution in the population. Okay, so understood, right? Okay, now we can move on. Now we will see how the sample size calculation. Yeah, Nahla. Hello. Nahla, yesterday's files are there. Yesterday's learning file and today's learning file are there in this link. You can download from that. Huh? Okay. You may please download the files from this link. Okay. I will add the videos to this link today evening. Okay. After the workshop, I will add videos also. So sample size determination is a major component when you are preparing proposal. Sample size must be large enough to be able to solve the research question. The key factors determining the sample size are proportion, mean, and standard deviation of the dependent variable from previous literature. So, while calculation of sample size, we have to make sure that the alpha error and beta error we have to key in. Alpha error and beta error. Do you know what is alpha error? What is beta error? Can you share? Any of you can share what is alpha error and what is beta error?
Alpha error is when we reject the null hypothesis when actually it should be accepted.
Okay. Null hypothesis is actually true.
Rejected.
True in the population, but it is rejected, right? Okay. That means we are making a false claim about the independent variable because we are
beta
making,
error is
beta error. Can you tell me?
It is acceptance of the null hypothesis when it should be rejected.
Oh, null hypothesis is false, but it is accepted, right? So that is beta error. How much should be alpha error? How much should be beta error? Can you tell?
80%.
Yeah, 80% power is needed. 80% power means beta error should be 20% or less. Okay, beta error should be 20% or less. Alpha error, no, it is more important. Alpha error should be 5% or less. Understood? Okay, so please note down alpha error should be 5%. Less than 5%. Okay, less than. Okay, alpha error should be less than 5%. Beta error should be less than 20%. When we say that alpha error is less than 5%, the confidence level is 95% or more. Understood? Confidence level will become 95% or more when alpha error is 5% or less. When beta error is less than 20%, no, power will be 80% or more. Understood? So alpha error is inversely proportional to confidence level. Beta error is inversely proportional to power of this study. So when somebody is asking power of study means you have to tell it should be 80% or high. Confidence level should be 95% or high. Okay. Confidence level 95% or high means alpha error less than 5%. Power 80% or high means beta error less than 20%. Is it clear to you, participants? Hello?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Then,
sir. Yes, sir.
yeah. Then another one, p-value. What is the meaning of p-value actually? We are telling no, p-value should be less than 0.05. When it is less than 0.05, its association or difference is statistically significant.
Probability of occurrence by chance.
Yeah, probability of getting the finding due to chance, right? So when p-value is less means the probability to get due to chance is less. So that is real association. When p-value is less means it is a real association. When p-value is more means it is not a real association, it is due to chance. Okay, got that, right? If you are telling the real definition of p-value, no, it will be written like that, okay, to get this finding or beyond. Okay. When the null hypothesis is actually true in the population. That is a definition given in standard textbooks. Okay, to get this finding or more when the null hypothesis is actually true in the population. Okay, that's a bit complicated, right? So to avoid that, we can say that when p-value is high, it is due to probability due to chance is high. When p-value is low, probability to get that finding due to chance is low. Okay. Okay, participants, not confused, right? Okay, now we can go through that. So what all things needed? Proportion of the finding in the population or mean and standard deviation of the variable in the population, which is available from the previous literature. So this is one formula that we use when we are calculating the prevalence of a study. So if you are looking for prevalence of cardiovascular disorder or prevalence of respiratory illness, okay, among women, village women. Okay, so if you are looking for prevalence of respiratory diseases among villagers, okay, so you have to get the P, that is a prevalence from previous study. Previous study shows that maybe 30% of village women were having respiratory illness. So P will be 30. 100 minus P means proportion of individuals who do not have that outcome. So that means 100 minus P means 70% of women were not having respiratory disease. Then comes precision. How we can say, tell precision, So I am doing a study on prevalence of cardiovascular disease in this district. So then I got that maybe prevalence of cardiovascular disease is 7% or 8% in the population. So then I am checking. Another study says that 10%. Another study done from another state shows that 7%. So there are some variation is there, right? And when you are doing the research, you may not get the exact same value as the previous study. So we have to put some allowable error. Allowable error means even if we calculate sample size telling that 10% have cardiovascular disease risk factor, there is an allowable error of 5. What it means? Allowable error of 5 means in your study, it can vary from 5% to 15%. So allowable error is 5%. So that is known as absolute precision. Okay. P is the expected prevalence of the condition under study obtained from previous research. Okay, precision is the allowable error in the expected prevalence. It varies from 5 to 10%. Okay, so one thing I will tell you, sometimes prevalence may be very less, right? Sometimes it can be less than 5% prevalence. In that case, precision will be relative precision. What is relative precision now? Maybe 5% of the prevalence that we got. So we got prevalence of 3 means 2.7 to 3.3. That will be the variation. So that's a 5% of the prevalence that we got. So in that case, it will be relative precision. In most of our community-based study, we use absolute precision. Absolute precision is 5 to 10% is acceptable. If
Sir, you mean to say that in case the prevalence comes out to be less than 5%, then relative precision has to be used. Otherwise, if it is appreciable, then we should go for absolute precision.
yeah,
Right?
yeah. Sometimes precision
But
can be
the
less
norms, we have attended other courses also and studied about this. The norms are that the absolute precision should also be not more than 20% of the prevalence value. Because if suppose the prevalence will be 5% and if we will take the absolute precision also 5%, so it will be a long range, sir. From
Okay.
5%
So,
to
so
15
in that we are not taking in such case where prevalence is very low, no, sir. In that case, we will take a percentage of that precision prevalence,
Yes, sir.
percentage of that. So that means we will take a 5% of that prevalence. Prevalence
That
is
maximum we take is 20%, no, sir?
yeah, maximum that I couldn't find anywhere. That's a new information. So we can take 5 to 10% of that prevalence. 5 to 10. More than 10% is not advisable. In absolute precision also, if we go more than 10, journals will not accept that. That will reduce the power of this study. Okay.
Okay.
But can the absolute precision be, sir, more than 20% of the relative precision? Like if the prevalence is 10% and we take the absolute precision as 5%, is it allowable, sir? Because in the other studies we have read that the absolute precision should also not be more than 20% of the prevalence.
That one, what we usually do now, sir, we check for the previous studies and we check the variation. Variation more than 5% is the prevalence that we get. We used to go for up to 5% precision. Okay.
Okay, so at 5% prevalence also we can take 5% precision.
Oh, that one I have to check which will be the lower limit. I have to check, but we usually go for this less than 5 only. We don't go for 5% precision. We go for a percentage of that. Maybe 10% of that will be the precision. And you know, Prof, we usually follow another method. We have to look for the similar studies, 2 or 3. Then we will get an idea what is the variation in this population. So if you are doing a study among Malaysians, means we have to take 2 or 3 studies done in Malaysia. So we will get an idea what will be the usual accepted precision from that. Maybe first study shows 10%, second study shows 8%, then another study shows 12%, no? Then precision can be 2 or 3 can be also.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, so that depends on the variation that we observe in the studies. Okay.
So we can take a lesser precision also. It's not that we have to take
Yeah,
5%.
lesser precision also. But in the methodology, you please tell. We took a lesser precision. If you take lesser precision, sample size will be higher. Then you
Yes,
have
sir.
to tell we took the lesser precision because previous studies showed a variation from 8% to 12%. So we took precision as 2 or 3 like that. Okay. So in any case, you are seeing that the precision that we get prevalence that we get from different studies are very near to each other. We can reduce the precision. So whenever the sample size is higher, nobody will object. Whenever sample size becomes lower only, the reviewers may object it. Okay, so and when sample size is lower, power of the study will be lower. So to avoid that, you can go for lower level of precision, lower precision in this formula. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, sir. This Z alpha value, this the constant is used, that is Z alpha value. That is a Z value for alpha error of 5% or Z value for 95% confidence level. That is 1.96. Okay, 1.96 multiplied by 1.96 multiplied by prevalence multiplied by 100 minus prevalence divided by precision squared. So in some books, they give P and 1 minus P. In that case, P you have to put 30% means you have to put it as 0.3. 1 minus P will be, instead of 70%, you put 0.7. In that case, precision also, instead of 5, you put 0.05 the whole square. Understood? So, for finite population, so yesterday on some question came. When we calculate the sample size, sometimes sample size will be 370. Required sample size may be 370. But total number of students in the college may be only 400. So we cannot go for that much high number of sample size, right? So in that case, you can use this sample size for finite population. So N0 is the sample size that we calculate based on this formula divided by 1 plus N0 minus 1 divided by capital N. Capital N will be the total number of people in that college, in that institution, or in that small village, like that. So if total number of people in the village is 200, so you can apply this in the formula. So 370 we got, but total number of people in that locality is only 200. So 370 divided by 1 plus 370 minus 1, that is 369 divided by total number is only 200. So you have to fill it in the formula. So you will get the sample size calculation for finite population. So instead of 370, you will get a number less than 200. So you can collect those samples. Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. It happens in our university, some of the students go for students from Faculty of Medicine alone. Only 600 students are there in the Faculty of Medicine. So we have to calculate the sample size. First, when we calculate, we will get 380 sample size. Then we apply to the total population as 600. Then we will get a lower sample size, maybe 270 or 280, like that. That will be more manageable for the researchers or students. Okay. Next is, when you are doing a study, on calculation or estimation of some continuous variable. Okay, you are doing a study on estimation of hemoglobin. So in that case, in the previous study, you have some other person may have done a study on estimation of hemoglobin values. What is a mean value? What is a standard deviation? Like that. So you can take those standard deviation value and put it in this formula. So sample size will be 1.96 squared. 1.96 is the Z alpha value. Another name for Z alpha value is standard normal variate. Okay, it's a Z alpha value. Is otherwise known as standard normal variate. Okay, got that, huh? So standard normal variate is 1.96 for 95% confidence interval or confidence level. 1.96 squared multiplied by standard deviation. Standard deviation is that value we get from previous study divided by precision squared. In this case, precision is not assumed as 5% or 5. Okay, we have to calculate precision. How we will calculate the precision? Okay, precision is equal to Z alpha multiplied by standard error of mean. That also we have to take from previous study. Okay, previous study they may have given what is the standard error of mean. You can take that. Okay, Z alpha value is same 1.96. Some studies they may not give what is standard error of mean. They may have given the standard deviation value and a sample size. So if they have given standard deviation value and a sample size, you can calculate standard error of mean by using this formula. Standard deviation divided by square root of n will give you standard error of mean. Then you apply this standard error of mean multiplied by 1.96. That will give you precision. Okay, understood?
Sir, 1 minute.
Yeah.
Like this formula for calculation of sample size has to be done. Like I'm just predicting that in case I am interested in studying the average cholesterol levels among the cardiovascular, among the hypertensive subjects, hypertensive medical doctors in a tertiary hospital, right? So
Okay.
in that case, the formula, sample size formula used will be this one, because
Yeah.
the values will be like a continuous variable. Is it so?
Yeah, exactly. So you have to take a previous study which is similar to your study and take the total cholesterol values of previous study. They may have given mean value and the standard deviation, right? So you take that standard deviation and apply in this formula.
Okay.
And
In that case, 4PQ by D square will not be a formula for cross-sectional study. In case it is quantitative variable, then we have to put that standard deviation and calculate the sample size, right?
yeah, exactly. Even if cross-sectional study, if it is calculating continuous variable, you have to use the standard deviation formula. Okay, that depends on the variable. Variable is continuous means please use standard deviation formula. If variable is categorical and prevalence means some percentage they are giving 30% of the participants are having hypercholesterolemia, then you can use for 1.96 squared, 1.96 the whole squared, p multiplied by 1 minus p divided by precision squared. That formula can be used. If the outcome is given as percentage. If outcome is actually given as mean and standard deviation, please use this formula. Okay. Okay, no, Dr. Shalini?
Yes, sir. Got it.
Okay. So that's fine. Here also, you can use sample size for finite population. In your case, you are doing in hypertensive doctors, right? This um, blood cholesterol, serum cholesterol values among hypertensive doctors, right? So that is a finite population. So in that case, you find out what will be the possible total number of doctors available in that area, because you are doing a purposive sampling, right? You are taking only those um, doctors who are having hypertension. So in that case, you take the total number of those doctors as capital N. Then you apply this for correction formula, so you will get the sample size. Okay. So data collection methods. There are so many data collection methods. First is interview method, self-administered questionnaire or online questionnaire we can use. Okay. Interview method means there will be face-to-face interview. So you are going with the questionnaire to the person and collecting information directly. Okay, that's the interview method. Self-administered questionnaire means you are just distributing the questionnaire only. Then you are collecting back. Okay, that's a self-administered. Online questionnaire means now most of the student research they are doing, they will send the link to through WhatsApp or through Facebook or other social media platforms. Okay. Hospital records, we can collect secondary data from hospital records in case of like a retrospective study. Okay. Prof. Harsha, yesterday we had a discussion about cross-sectional or retrospective, right? So if hospital record also, if we are collecting the data related to different time points, it will be a retrospective study. It cannot be mentioned as cross-sectional. Okay. Is it clear to you?
Sir, yesterday the
Yeah,
query was
yeah,
that
we discussed on that, right? So if you are collecting data from record also, if the time of data collection differs, no, the record may have different time points, huh? So then it will be better to be told as retrospective case analysis. Okay.
even if it is one data of one patient, then also.
One data of one patient, but retrospective means you are not collecting the data at this point. No, doctor. We are taking the data from previous records, right?
Okay. So in
So
that
it
case,
will
we
be
can't use the
retrospective
term
case
cross-sectional.
analysis. Yeah, retrospective case analysis. So if you are collecting data now at this point of time only, we can say that it is cross-sectional.
Okay.
Sir, wait, one more thing. Like I am interested in studying the morbidity pattern of the under 5 children from records. I
Oh.
have gone and collected all the data on a single day, right? At a point of time.
From the
So,
records.
what will be this thing?
Oh, that will be, as per my understanding, that will be a cross-sectional,
Cross-sectional.
no, not cross-sectional, because you are collecting data not from the patient, no, Dr. Shalini. You are collecting data
From
from
records.
hospital
From records.
records, right? So that
Yeah.
will be retrospective case record analysis will be a better term.
Anything from the records, even if it is collected at a point of time, will be retrospective. Am I right?
No, the retrospective means, yeah, from the record, anything from the record of different point, because you are not collecting records of one patient alone, no, you are collecting a record of multiple patients, right? So
Hmm.
multiple patients record maybe. Yes, Dr. Harsha.
even if it is one record of one patient also, then also it will not be cross-sectional, sir.
That will be a case study, sir. That will be a case study.
Sir, there will be multiple patients, but of one patient only one record.
Yeah, then multiple patients are there means it will be case series analysis. Case series analysis means multiple case records we are analyzing. That will be case series analysis or retrospective
Record-based analysis.
record-based analysis. That will be a better term.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Cross-sectional means you are going to a
So,
clinic and collecting data one time from one patient. That
so cross-sectional can never be retrospective. That is the core point.
yeah,
That is the core point.
cross-sectional will be at this point of time, point in time, one point in time.
Anything from the past will be retrospective, right, sir?
Anything from past also, because past based on records, that will
Records.
be retrospective. Because you are doing case control study, no? Cases, you are interviewing cases. But you are asking about smoking status in last 5 years. That means that then it will become retrospective. Case control study is not cross-sectional, right? Even if we
Right.
are collecting data today, but we are asking about the past, no? Then it
Yeah.
will be this one. Instead of asking about smoking, you are looking for carbon monoxide status in blood at that moment, then that will become a cross-sectional. Yeah, understood.
Yes.
Instead of asking for history in the last 10 years means you are taking some blood parameter to check for the exposure to tobacco smoke in blood, then it will become cross-sectional.
Cross-sectional. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Then hospital records will be secondary data and observation. It is mainly coming under qualitative research. Qualitative research means we are looking for the quality of a procedure or quality of a service, right? So we are looking for the observation using some checklist. Okay, you are going to your clinic and checking that if the doctors are coming in time, coming on time and doing their duties and seeing patients in the exact time specified. Nurses are doing all the work in exact time specified. You are using a checklist and checking that means that is observation. That is done in qualitative research. Focus group discussion is also for qualitative data, for collecting opinions, perceptions, and other what is it? Expectations of the participants. All these comes under focus group discussion. Have you done qualitative research using focus group discussion? Any of you had an experience?
No, sir. We just request you if you can arrange one workshop on that also, qualitative research.
Okay, that we'll think about it because we have some resource persons. We will think about it.
And
Okay.
about mixed methods research, like using both qualitative and quantitative mixed methods research. So
Okay.
such kind of workshops we want to attend, sir.
Okay. Okay. Will
Sir,
be
matlab, I mean, during my postgraduate time, I just done that we used to train the health workers and what is their experience. We used to record that, asking the questions. I don't know how successful that it was as a focus group discussion. That one postgraduate used to sit and used to record all the thoughts about how they felt in dispensing their duties. That used to be recorded, and thematic analysis used to be done. Means as it is, whatever has been conveyed by them used to be quoted.
okay.
That I have a perception of FGD. If it is right,
Yeah. That's FGD, and there should be 6 to 10. 6 to 10 participants will be sitting in in a circle. Okay.
Yeah.
And one open-ended questions will be asked. So that's how you feel about the teaching learning methods in the university. So each one will come. Okay, I am happy with the lectures, but I am not happy with the field visit. Okay. Another person may tell, oh, I am happy with the field visit, but I am getting bored with a long lecture hours. Okay. So the third participant will tell, oh, I enjoyed problem-based learning, but I didn't enjoy lecture like that. No. So that each one's opinion will be recorded and will be analyzed. That analysis also will be like a descriptive content analysis. What is a content, right? Based on the content, they will find out domains. Domains means okay about teaching learning, about teachers, about research, about field visit, or about the atmosphere in the college. Different domains they will analyze, they will identify. After that, no, they will put each domain, these are the main findings. Okay, like that. So there is a diagram is there. Dr. Shalini may be knowing sociogram. So it will tell first question, who answered? Huh? How many times each person answered? Okay, so facilitator will find out, hey, Dr. Shalini answered it 2 times. Dr. Harsha answered it less time only. So what facilitator will tell, ask more question to the silent participant, so that silent participant will be encouraged to answer more. Understood? This is also one technique in focus group discussion. Okay. So mention about the questionnaire. Okay, source of questionnaire. Okay. When you are using a questionnaire, no, I will tell you one example. One study yesterday I showed you, knowledge about cardiovascular disease risk factor. So that study was done using a questionnaire, heart disease fact questionnaire. Okay, heart disease fact questionnaire. So you have to mention what is the source of the questionnaire, which research, maybe who developed it, maybe some scientist name you have to mention. Okay, that developed by scientists. Then you have to tell in the previous study which used that questionnaire, no, they may have mentioned about validity and reliability. We'll show you this. Okay, participants. So this questionnaire part, no? So data collection tool, huh? So background, problem statement, research questions, objective, hypothesis statements. Okay, then significance of the study. Okay, so this, then review of literature. I told you, review of literature will have multiple subheadings. Occurrence of cardiovascular disease, then risk factors of cardiovascular disease, like that. Risk factors in Malaysia, like that. Multiple subheadings are there. So these are the methodology headings. Okay, sample size, sample size, no? P is the prevalence of condition under study. 1 minus P is prevalence of those without condition under study. Okay, so that's a precision is 5% in this calculation. So they calculated the sample size. Okay, participants, about the method of collection of data, no, they have mentioned participants will be receiving, that's a grammar mistake, receiving a questionnaire in Google form via social media and email. The questionnaire will be is based on the English version of disease fact questionnaire. Okay. Heart disease fact questionnaire. Malay translation was done by the researcher, then verified by language experts in Quest International University. Then translated version was further verified by a medical teacher. When you are making translation using a language expert, then you have to verify with a medical person, because language experts wording may not be exactly correct according to a medical professional. Okay, you understood. So after verifying with a language expert, it was verified. The translated version was verified by a medical teacher in the faculty. So, look at that. Heart disease fact questionnaire is created with a meaningful construct, excellent readability, with a less burden to participants. The validity and internal consistency reliability was already measured and shown to have good levels of validity and reliability. Understood? So that area we have to mention which questionnaire you used and how was the validity and the reliability of the questionnaire. So you can get it from the previous study. Okay. So source of questionnaire, which research article it was there, then mention about validity and the reliability of the questionnaire. Okay. Information about validity and reliability will be mentioned in the previous research article from which the questionnaire is adopted. Okay. So, these are the various ways we can do validity of the questionnaire. Validity can be done using face validity, content validity, criterion validity, and predictive validity. Okay, we cannot go much detail into it. Then also you understand what it is actually meant. Face validity means, okay, most of you are in academics, right? So if students are doing a research, they prepared a questionnaire by themselves. After they prepare the questionnaire, they are distributing the questionnaire among the other students, among peers. Then they will check, hey, first question, so grammar is having some mistake. Then they correct it. Second question, oh, meaning is entirely different. So they correct the wording so that meaning is correct. Understood? Then third question, okay, very good. Fourth question also, some grammar mistake is there, they correct it. So face validity means they distribute among the team members itself or the classmates and make sure that all the wordings are correct. Second is the content validity. Content validity means you have to identify some subject expert. So if you are doing a study on cardiovascular disease risk factors, so you distribute among one subject expert will be community medicine professor will be one subject expert. Second one will be a internal medicine professor. So he knows about, he's seeing the patients daily who is having what risk factor. So he can identify any of the cardiovascular disease risk factor missed or not. So content validity will be done by distributing among subject expert. After that, they will check, okay, question number 1, fine. Question number 2, not needed. Question number 3, fine. Question number 4, fine, like that. So, each content expert will come with a subject expert will give some comments. Question number 1 to 10 is okay. 11 and 12th question can be avoided because it is repeating the previous component. Understood? So that's a subject experts. Criterion validity. So I created one questionnaire. Our students or researchers created one questionnaire. Then they're comparing with Another study which was done in Italy or which was done in Poland, they are comparing with other questionnaire and making sure that all the components are covered or not. That is criterion validity. Okay, check if all areas or components are included. So, I will give an example. Depression, questionnaire on depression should have different components, right? One should be about self-esteem. Second one will be about worthlessness or anhedonia. Anhedonia means patient will feel that they are not happy with anything. They cannot enjoy anything. So some questions will be about anhedonia. Third one, some questions will be about sleep, initiation of sleep or lack of sleep. Okay. Fourth one will be about appetite. Okay, they are not having any hunger or appetite to take food. So these are the different criteria. So I added all this. First about self-esteem, some questions on self-esteem, some questions on anhedonia, some question on sleep, some question on appetite. Then I'm thinking that it is perfect, very good, right? Then I downloaded a questionnaire from uh, UK. I downloaded from BMJ1 questionnaire. Then I checked, they have added one more component, that is suicidal ideation or suicidal tendency or suicidal ideas. That was already missed in my questionnaire, right? When I looked for criterion validity, I could get that component to be added to my questionnaire. So that is a advantage of doing criterion validity. Comparing with other data collection tool, we will get something that we already missed. After that, you have to do content validity again. Again send to subject expert and check that if the added questions are adequate or not. Okay. So these are the three components, three validity. Fourth is predictive validity. What is that? It is very difficult to do at present. Why, I will tell you. Any of you have done a study on mental health, depression or anxiety or stress level? Any of you have done any study on mental health? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. What study you have done, Dr. Shalini?
Actually, we have just filled the questionnaires only using the DASH scale, that prevalence of depression among the medical students.
Oh, DAS 21. No, 21 questions will be there.
Yeah, exactly.
7 questions on depression, 7 on anxiety, 7 on stress. Right.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good. So predictive validity, you are doing this study among medical students now, and you identified that maybe 10 students are having depression at present. Okay, so you identified that 10% are having depressive symptoms now. Maybe next year they are passing out, they are becoming houseman and they are starting working somewhere like that. Okay. After that, after 5 years, Dr. Shalini is calling that student or emailing that, sending email to that student. How are you? How is your health? And how are you today? Then you found that all the 10 students who were identified today will be actually having depression at that time. So out of 10 students, 8 students reply back, oh ma'am, I have gone to a psychiatric clinic and now I am taking some meditation and yoga or some other metal. Okay, I am taking some pharmacological medications for my condition, like that. So understood. So predictive validity means if the questionnaire is really good, it will be able to predict what may happen in future. Understood? So If predictive validity of a questionnaire is poor, means what? Okay, in future, nobody who was predicted as depression today will not develop depression in future. Understood? Got that point? So that's a please keep in mind a face validity, distribution among students or distribution among team members, content validity, distribution among subject expert, criterion validity, download from other language questionnaire and compare with it. Predictive validity means you have to predict the disease in future.
Sir, the pilot testing of the questionnaire, that is also the part of the validation of the questionnaire, the pilot testing on a few subjects.
Yeah, that is a part we use for reliability of the questionnaire, pilot testing. So, sometimes, pilot testing can be done. Then we can identify the responses of the students, right? Pilot testing, you distribute among 10% of the sample. Sample size is 300 means you please distribute among 30 students and check how the answer is. Okay, so you can find out that sometimes students are not able to understand the question. They are giving wrong answers. They are not able to understand at all. That means those questions are not having that validity. Those questions need some correction, right? Another one, after validity. What is the meaning of validity? Able to identify what it is supposed to identify. Okay. So, questionnaire is supposed to identify depression. Okay. So, are they really identifying depression or not? Or are they really able to identify depression or not? That is a validity. Truly doing what it is supposed to do. Okay. Another term is reliability. Reliability means what? If you repeat the questionnaire, today you got some answers, right? If you repeat the questionnaire, will you get the same answer or not? Okay. If you repeat the questionnaire, you will get the same answer. If a questionnaire is reliable means what? If you repeat it also, you will get the same answer, similar answer. Okay, understand. So please keep in mind, these are the three ways to test reliability. That is test, retest reliability, alternate form reliability, and internal consistency reliability. Test, retest reliability now. Today you are distributing the questionnaire. After 1 month, you distribute the same questionnaire and check if the answers are similar or not. What we will check? We will do a correlation analysis to know if there is a linear relationship between answers on day 1 and answers after 1 month. So we can do correlation analysis and check if there is a test, retest reliability. If correlation coefficient is more than 0.7, there is good test, retest reliability. Okay, so test, retest reliability will be using correlation analysis. Correlation analysis will be done. So if correlation coefficient is R is more than 0.07, that means it's good. Understood? Okay, this one. Okay. Alternate form reliability means what? So, some students may be very intelligent. So they will remember all the questions. No, like you may have found some students with a brilliant visual memory, right? If they see once, they will understand it and they will remember it, right? Like that, this if you give the same questionnaire after 2 weeks, students will remember, hey, first question answer is this, second question answer is this, third question answer is this. They will answer it quickly because they remember the wording. Okay, understood. So to avoid that, you can use alternate form reliability. So second questionnaire, no, you can put another wording. Instead of asking, oh, where is your house? You can ask, which part of India your house is, or something like that, or which village you are from. First will be, what is the name of the village? Some alternate form reliability means you have to rephrase the wording, okay, so that students or participants will not remember it. Understood? So same questions are asked in different wordings or different forms. That is alternate form reliability. Then also you use the same correlation analysis. And if correlation coefficient is more than 0.7, it shows that good reliability. Okay. Then internal consistency reliability. Okay, I will tell you internal consistency reliability. No, you are preparing 5 questions on the state of anxiety among students. So first question is that, okay, are you getting increased heartbeat? Are you getting more sweating, thinking about exams? Okay, are you losing sleep? Are you not able to get sleep? Okay, are you getting scared, thinking about teachers? Okay, then they will tell, oh, I am so scared. When I see the professor's face, I become so nervous and scared. Understood? So there are so many questions on anxiety level of students. Okay, and internal consistency means that all the 5 questions should measure the outcome in a similar way. So, first question, highly anxious. Second question also should give an reply that student is highly anxious. Third question also should show that highly anxious. Fourth question also should show that highly anxious. That means there is internal consistency in that questionnaire. Another one, I'm asking, okay, first question says that, oh, student is highly anxious. Second question shows that, oh, he is not at all anxious. Third question shows that we cannot say if he is anxious or not. Fourth question shows that he is highly anxious. That means there is no internal consistency between the questions, right? So, a good questionnaire should have internal consistency between the questions. How we can check that? It is by Cronbach alpha test. Okay, if Cronbach alpha, that is a internal consistency reliability, that can be done using statistical software. SPSS or R can use Cronbach alpha test. Okay, so Cronbach alpha value more than 0.7 means questionnaire is having internal consistency. If Cronbach alpha value less than 0.7 means internal consistency is poor. Okay. Okay, participants, is it okay to you? Reliability. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, reliability, test, retest, alternate form. These two we use correlation coefficient. If it is more than 0.7 means it's a good reliability. Internal consistency is also important. In the previous slide, now I showed you that
So, sir, pilot testing is a form of checking validity or checking the reliability?
Mostly reliability, sir. After the pilot test, you can do internal consistency reliability and check that if Cronbach alpha is more than 0.7. In our case, in my college, we do pilot study. After that, we check Cronbach alpha. Validity is mainly a more communication, because we have to communicate with peers, we have to communicate with the subject expert, and then we have to download the similar questionnaire and check all areas are covered or not. These three are done before pilot study. Okay, that's validity, right? Validity is done before pilot study. Reliability is done during pilot study.
Means, sir, if we are not using a standardized questionnaire, then for the study to be valid, we need to do both the validity as well as the reliability of the questionnaire, right?
Yes, Dr. Shalini. Validity
Even if
means,
a small project, like students' projects, also questionnaire needs to be validated.
yeah, validated means don't go the very advanced validation techniques are there. That is like a factor analysis and all. No need to go for that. You can do at your level. Maybe
Peer review.
face validity can be done. That is easier, right? Then content validity, you can identify 2 or 3 subject experts from your university. In
That
this
we
case,
do also, sir. At our level, we do also this.
yeah.
That
We
the
can do
faculty
that.
checks the questionnaire
Yeah.
and
We
gives
can.
the opinion. That is a sort of content validity.
Yeah, content validity. And the criterion validity also we are doing, that we are downloading previous study and noting what all components they checked, and we are making sure that our questionnaire is having similar one, right? That is criterion validity. But we are not doing factor analysis. That needs more time. For PhD and all, they will do, they will identify different domains and will do factor analysis to make sure that these content, this question match with that content or not. That for student research and all, we don't need that. That one, many of these studies got published even without that up to this. But you have to write down the content validity was done, then criterion validity was done by comparing with the previous research, and corrections were made. When you make correction, you have to do content validity once more. After making correction, you distribute to subject expert. Better to distribute to some subject expert which is available in the university. So if you are sending to external agents, external professionals, it will take more time. Okay, that's my.
And then why to go for, we can first do the criterion validity and then go for content validity, because first we can make the whole questionnaire by downloading the previous questionnaires,
Yeah,
and then
can.
why to do the content validity twice? We can first
That you
do
know, in any case, you are making correction after content validity. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes no, students will not be very sincere in the beginning. After that, they will get so motivated. They will get so many articles from
Yes,
previous
we
studies.
also suggest them that you have to include these points and all. Then they will search again, and
Yeah,
then they will.
they may search. Then they will tell, oh, doctor, we got some extra points. Can we add that? Then, if you are adding that, you just inform the subject experts once more. Oh, we got some new information. We added it. So you please go through it. So
Yes, sir.
they will be very happy only. Most of the subject experts are very happy in going through the students' questionnaire, newly prepared questionnaire, and all. No, they will be
Yes, sir.
very happy
Yes,
with
sir.
that. Okay, so that is one scenario. If in any case we are getting some extra information, please verify with the subject expert. Okay, and don't give to language expert alone. If you're sending to language expert, please verify with your subject expert also, because language expert will find out some words that is good, that is correct in terms of language, but may not be correct in medical terms, right? Okay, so please keep that. Okay, now we can go to the next part. Okay, So data analysis, right? Data analysis, you have to mention what is the statistical method or statistical test used, level of significance. Level of significance is otherwise known as decision rule. You know that 0.05 is considered as the level of significance. So when the p-value is less than 0.05, the association or difference is statistically significant. So that you have to mention in the proposal. Mention the statistical software and version. So in any case, you are not using the original software, mention about the trial version. Okay, most of the software have trial version, right? So when you're preparing in proposal itself, you have to mention SPSS software, but you may not have the original license. Then you can use the trial version downloaded in December 2022. So trial version will be valid for 1 month, right? So you can put like that. Okay, then comes ethical issues. Okay, ethical issues are very important. So confidentiality of information given by the respondents. So that don't keep their names or their position exposed. Okay, so the confidentiality of information should be maintained. That you have to mention in the proposal. Then you have to mention that participation is voluntary and participants will have the freedom to say no or to stop the research or drop out at any time. Okay, so that you have to mention in the ethical issues part. Okay, so we are not compelling them to participate. They have full freedom to stop voluntarily. Okay, so that's a respondent's choice not to participate must not affect the healthcare provider. So many places patients feel very stressed. Okay, so doctor is asking them, oh, there is a research, you participate in that. So patient may be very much worried about the research. No, if it is our dear one involved, no, then we will be telling, oh, doctor, we are not very confident. We are not feeling to participate in the research. We will be your patient. Okay, like that. So, doctors, even if they are researcher, they should not compel the patient to participate in the research. Or patient's healthcare should not get affected. Okay, must not get affected. Inform your respondents fully about the study and a possible risk. So, researcher has to collect informed consent, right? Informed consent means it should be you have to inform about the research. Okay, you are going to collect information about the socio-demographic factors. Then we will be collecting blood and we'll be checking for blood sugar and blood cholesterol, serum cholesterol, all these things. And you have to inform them, okay, these we are not using for any other purpose. Okay, so that's a informed consent means all information about the research and how their data will be used. You have to tell that, okay, your information that we get from the research may be published, but your name or identifiable information will not be published. Okay, that's a informed consent. Do not harm the respondents. Okay, that's a 4 pillars of medical ethics, right? So do not harm. Okay, do benefit, that is beneficence, non-maleficence, justice to the patient, and autonomy of the participants. Autonomy means they should be able to decide what they are going to do or what they are going to follow. Okay, this one. So as a researcher, there should not be any conflict of interest. Okay. And if there is a conflict of interest, it must be declared. Okay, so researcher A is working in a pharmaceutical company. So he is doing a research on the effectiveness of the drug um, produced by that company, right? So his job is dependent on the company, and so it may involuntarily affect the research outcome. Okay, understood. Another thing, funding agency may give $10,000 to the researcher. So after the research, the researcher has to submit the article that he had written to the funding agency. So funding agency will go through it and make sure that there is nothing which is harming the company. Understood? In that case, the researcher has to mention clearly there is a conflict of interest between the funding agency and the outcome. Okay, so and the researcher, there is a conflict of interest is there. That means there is some interest is there which is favoring the funding agency that can limit the publication of results which is against the funding agency. Understood? Integrity in data collection, analysis, and interpretation and reporting. So, data collection should be very truthful, analysis should be truthful, interpretation should be unbiased. Unbiased means it should not bias towards some agency or some organization. The reporting also should be unbiased. Okay. Act on or report adverse events of interventions. So, sometimes some intervention you are doing may have adverse effects. Then, no, you have to stop the research when some harmful adverse effects happens. You have to stop the research, discontinue the research. Understood? So that's an act on or report adverse events of intervention. All researchers involved in clinical trials must be having certified good clinical practice certification. Okay, ensure respect and dignity of the respondents. So always give respect and dignity to respondents. Now, this is a timeline chart that we are doing. Okay, Gantt chart. So it will be like this. You have to mention preparation of proposal, presentation of proposal, preparation of and submission of thesis to ethics committee, data collection, data analysis, report writing, submission of thesis, like that. You can add a publication of your research also at the end. Okay, understood. So this is a timeline chart. So these are the components of the research proposal. So you can just go through it. Okay, these are the various components. All the components we have mentioned already, huh?
Sir,
Okay.
just have a query.
Yeah, please.
If you will you told about the sample size of the cross-sectional studies, is it possible that you give a few hints about how to go for if we plan some analytical studies or RCT?
Okay. So I can. That's a
Use
good.
those software, sir. Any
Yeah. I will. I told you that I will show you some online software, right? So I will show you now. Okay. So one simple software that most of us can follow. Yeah. Okay. This one you can click on. Okay, this yesterday Dr. Harsha was telling about AP Info, right? AP Info, this online version, Open AP software, openap.com. So this I will share with you this link. So you can click on that link. Okay. In this, you just click on sample size. Left side menu, you click on sample size. There are different sample size options. Proportion, case control study, cohort study, randomized control trial, mean difference. These are the various things. Okay, you click on proportion, you will get one page opens, enter new data. So in this case, no, you have to give the population size. If you are doing a study in a district, so total population will be more than 1 million, right? Maybe around 1 million. So in that case, no need to change the population size. Okay, population size, let it be 1 million. Then anticipated frequency. So, okay, we are assuming that 30% of the population have an outcome. 30% have hypercholesterolemia, may not be 30%, maybe 20%. 20% have hypercholesterolemia. Okay, so in a district, you want to know how many percentage, what is the prevalence of hypercholesterolemia. So in that case, anticipated frequency, I put 20. And previous studies, we found that there is a variation between 15 to 25. So we gave confidence limit, absolute precision as 5%. So 20 and 5%. So design effect means what? If you are doing cluster sampling or sometimes convenience sampling, so it may not be, it may cause some bias in the sampling, right? Because cluster sampling means it is not purely random sampling. So not purely representative of the population. So in that case, you can add some, instead of 1, you can put design effect of 2. Then sample size will be double of what? What we calculate. Okay, sample size will become double of what we calculate. So if
Sir, when we have a design effect has to be intervened when we are not sure that the sampling is a particularly random sampling.
yeah,
Is it so?
exactly. If sampling is not purely random, sometimes you are using convenience sampling, you please add some extra design effect. Okay. And another thing, no, if you are not sure about the complete data available, no, so you are not sure that you will get you may have some missing data and all, no. In that case also you can add a more design effect. Okay, understood.
Then how much design effects, sir, can we take in case of convenience sampling?
For cluster sampling, I read somewhere they add 1.8. Up to 2 we can, but that depends on our resources also. Sometimes we may not have that much fund to have double sample size, right? So sometimes we have to think about our resources like money and time available like that. Okay. So one study that I involved, it was using cluster sampling. They used 1.8. Okay. So they showed some reference also, but I'm not sure about the reference now. Okay. So you can put a 2 also if you are not sure about the data sampling bias, you are feeling that so much bias is there, you can put 2. Okay. Okay, then we have added this. Okay, anticipated frequency 20%, and a 5. Okay. Then click calculate. So this one click, we got calculation, that is total population size of the district is 1 million and hypothesized percentage of frequency of outcome is 20%. plus or minus 5. That is a precision. Absolute precision is 5. Confidence limit as a percentage of 100. Okay, that is also 5%. That's a D. D is the precision. Okay. Then design effect 1. So required sample size is 246 for 95% confidence level. So you have to how to put that in the proposal, assuming that the prevalence, assuming that the prevalence of hypercholesterolemia in the community is 20% with a precision of 5% for a 95% confidence level, minimum sample size was calculated as 246. Got that? Assuming that 20% of the population will have hypercholesterolemia for a precision of 5% and for a 95% confidence level, the minimum sample size was calculated as 246. Why minimum sample size? Whatever sample size we get in calculation is minimum sample size. You can go higher than that, but don't go below that. Understood? So that's a thing. Hello, participants. What about others? All are following? Dr. Ahad, is it okay? Nahla, are you able to follow? Dr. Vishal, Dr. Harsh already communicated. How about McLaren? You joined it today only, no? Are you able to follow it? Mitra Swita, are you able to follow? Yes. Yes, participants. Okay, we'll. So this is about proportion, right? Now we can go to sample size for case control study. If you are doing a case control study, what we have to do? Okay. Case control study, you have to click on unmatched case control. Unmatched CC means case control study. Here,
But sir, matching is so done now, then unmatched, how come?
that one,
I mean, in any case control study, and that control group will be matched and then taken, right? Am I getting it right?
yeah, exactly. But here we can use this in this website. They have only this option, case control study. We can put that. So two-sided confidence level will be 95%. And the power will be 80%. I told you before, right? Power of study should be 80%. The ratio of control to cases, we can put 1:1. 1:1. That is for equal samples, right? For equal samples, use 1. That means number of cases equals number of controls. Percentage of controls exposed to the risk factor. So you can say that maybe in a case control study of cardiovascular disease. Okay, you think about that. So cases will be those with a cardiovascular disease. Controls will be normal individuals, right? Among normal individuals, maybe 15% are smokers. Okay, so percentage of controls exposed. That means percentage of normal individuals who are having smoking, that is 15%. Now you have to put percentage of cases with the exposure, percentage of cardiovascular disease patients with smoking. Okay, then you are putting 30. So percentage of controls with the exposure is 15%. Percentage of cases with exposure is 30%. So you understood. So in this case, in case control study, we have only these two parameters, right? So percentage of controls exposed to a risk factor, 15%. Percentage of cases exposed to a risk factor, 30%. Now you click calculate, it will give you the, for 95% confidence level, okay, sample size of cases, 122, sample size of controls, 122. So we need that because we are studying the exposure rate among cases and comparing with exposure rate among controls. So, you know,
we have to use this first one, sir, Kelsey one.
that one, we can choose any of these. These three I have checked. All three are used. But whichever you use, you have to mention that you used Kelsey method using OpenAPI software. Okay. So you have to give a reference for this method.
So
Because
total sample size will be 244, 122 cases, 122 controls.
yeah. That's if you are using Kelsey method. If you don't have that much, you have limited resource only, you can take 242. And then you tell that you use the FLACE method. Okay, like that. So whatever resource you follow, whatever reference you follow, you can choose that. If you want to do some more, because previous study used 270. So you also want to do similar, means you can go with FLACE with a continuity correction. That is a formula. 3 different formulas developed by two different scientists. Okay, understood.
Yes, sir.
So you can, if you are using that, you can keep it. So, you know, matched case control or unmatched case control depends on the matching procedure, right? So matching will make sure that the selection bias will be avoided. Okay, that is actually a method to avoid the bias, right? So, you know.
And confounding also needs to be managed.
Yeah, okay, that one will remove the bias in our finding, right? So that's a methodology part. So sample size you can calculate using this, and you can use what is that? We can use the matching to make sure that the cases and controls are similar in terms of independent variables and in terms of confounding variables. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Got that. Sometimes you are looking for the relationship between cardiovascular disease and smoking, right? Some other confounding may be there. High fat diet may be a confounding factor. Sometimes this obesity or overweight, BMI, blood sugar. Okay, all these you can match. You can match multiple factors, right? So then about cohort or randomized.
One question that in this example only, that cardiovascular disease example, if we want to study the multiple risk factors, like one you have told smoking, but we want to study other risk factors also, like obesity or hypercholesterolemia, like this. So we will calculate different sample sizes for different risk factors.
Yeah, okay.
And then which sample size we will use, sir, overall for conducting the study?
For
the least one or the highest one?
Highest one you have to choose. Because you know, multiple factors are studied in same study, right? So
Yes,
we will be calculating percentage of controls exposed to that risk factor, right? Here,
Yes.
20% are having smoking. 20% of controls are having smoking, and 35%, 40% of cases have smoking. Okay, like that. Like that, you will be calculating for multiple risk factors. And
Yes, sir.
highest one will be enough for studying all. Understood? So,
Yes, sir.
first one, maybe how much we got?
244.
Yeah,
244.
the 244 we got. Next one, 260 we got. Next one, 320 we got. Only three risk factors are studied. Then, if you take 320, no, that will
Yes, sir.
be satisfying all the three risk factors. Understood?
Yes,
So
sir.
that will
Yes.
give enough power and enough confidence level for all the risk factors. So,
And same is the case for cross-sectional study also, sir. If we are studying multiple diseases in one cross-sectional study, we will take the maximum sample size.
yeah, maximum sample size. Yeah, we will calculate three outcome variables are there, three different sample size we will calculate. Then we will take the highest one.
Yes.
Okay, that's a good discussion that was. Then next is cohort study. In case of cohort study or randomized control trial, so 95% and 80% we will not change. That is two things. No, first one. Then the ratio of unexposed to exposed in the sample 1:1. In cohort also we are taking one group exposed to a risk factor, another group not exposed to a risk factor. Okay. Percentage of unexposed with outcome. So, unexposed means maybe non-smoker. Non-smoker, only 5% got lung cancer. Okay. Development of lung cancer.
Hey. You got the trees or what?
Somebody got.
Ayyo, that was so exciting for all of us. Children always make us very active, right? Okay. So this one, percentage of unexposed with outcome, we can put 5. That means among non-smokers, 5% got lung cancer. Okay, I'm just giving an. Then percentage of exposed with outcome. So we can tell that among smokers, maybe 40% got lung cancer. So that's one group 5, one group is 40. So we can give like that, huh? Then click calculate. So so the exposed group should be 23, non-exposed group should be 23, so that we can follow them up, and development of lung cancer in both groups can be studied. This is for cohort study. In randomized control trial also, we can use the same one. Okay. So the ratio of percentage of unexposed with outcome. Unexposed means among placebo group. Placebo group, 30% got outcome. Among among percentage of exposed with outcome. So among those with the treatment, only 10% got outcome. You understood? Placebo group, percentage of unexposed with outcome 30%. Percentage of exposed with outcome, percentage of exposed with outcome is 10%.
The outcome will be benefit.
Yeah,
how many will
benefit.
be benefiting?
In experimental study, benefit
Yes,
will
sir.
be there. Placebo group will have more adverse
Placebo group
outcome.
will have, sir, less. We can take 10% in placebo and
No,
30%.
let's see what comes out to be the.
In a randomized control trial, sir. Randomized control trial, exposed means exposed to a new treatment.
new
Yes, sir. So
treatment.
that group will have some better
Less
outcome, no, sir?
benefit.
Sir,
Outcome. Yeah, this
This is 10 means less people are benefited with the
Yeah,
Treatment,
treatment
treatment
with
group will have better outcome.
No, it's not a guarantee. It's a RCT. It can go anyway.
yeah, you know better.
Generally,
If hospitalization is the outcome, if outcome is the hospitalization, no, placebo group will have more hospitalization, right? And
okay, okay.
in the treatment group, if they are getting correct treatment, hospitalization may be less, right?
Okay.
So that's we
Sir,
can,
outcome can be cure rates also, na? Cure
yeah,
rates.
cure rate also. Cure rate,
That will be more in the treatment group, cure rates.
yeah, cure rate will be more. Yeah, then we can have the cure rate. Okay. Okay, 10 and 30. Now we will check. Okay, 63, 63. So 63 will be exposed to an intervention. 63 will not be exposed to intervention. Like that, we can do that. Okay, is it clear? So
And
these,
sir, one more query. Like in this RCT, it's a comparison between two groups, right?
yeah,
If at all there are more than two groups, then how to how to proceed then? Like suppose one group is given placebo, one group is given beta blockers, and one group is given calcium channel blockers plus beta blockers. And we want to see the
Oh.
efficacy, which one is most beneficial.
So you can do like that. You can use your hypothesis will be different, right? For each hypothesis, you can make like that. So if hypothesis one will be the comparison.
Comparison between 1 and 2, and then 2 and 3, and then 1 and 3. Is it?
Yeah. Then you can calculate the sample size and you take the highest one, highest number.
Okay, sir.
So we can have all the three minimum sample size will be covered in that, right? So you can do that. So better to go for if a randomized control trial, you go for two group at a time. Yeah, multiple also possible. Yeah, yesterday we discussed, right? Multiple also possible. So then we can compare the different groups, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this
What is this fourth one, sir? Mean difference?
mean difference. Mean difference means, so if outcome is actually continuous variable, okay. So you are comparing the hemoglobin values of pregnant women with hemoglobin values of pregnant women with the hemoglobin values of normal women, non-pregnant women. So hemoglobin value of pregnant women means the mean value may be 11.3, huh? And maybe 1.8. Okay, so like that. So group
Means if
2.
comparative study is done for the continuous variable, then this method should be taken for the whatsoever is the study design. But this will be a way of calculation of sample size.
Yeah, we can.
For comparing the means.
Yeah,
For
comparing the mean values, comparing the continuous outcome, we can use that. So in normal women, 12.5 is the normal value, and maybe 2.0. Okay, so these two values you are giving. It is very much possible. So one group and a second group. So yesterday, 2 days back, one postgraduate student is doing a study. One group of university students are getting a energy drink. Another group is getting some isotonic drink. Then they are doing exercise. After that, they are checking for VO2 max. VO2 max is maximum aerobic capacity. Then that is outcome is actually mean values, right? Continuous variable. So in that case, mean value of outcome variable and standard deviation you have to give. Okay, like this. Then you click compare, calculate size of group 1 40, group 2 40 to get this mean difference. Okay. Another thing, if mean difference is very high, Instead of 11.3, it is 9.6. Okay, so 9.6 and 12.5, no, the difference is so high, right? So in that case, sample size required will be less, because when the difference is more, so less sample size will be enough to test that. Okay, instead of 9.6 and 12.5, I am putting this one 12.0 and 12.5. So these are very close, right? So to test that, we may require more sample size. So sample size required will be 228 for each group, right? So another one, okay, so this one.
And sir, what should be the minimum sample size for any hospital study? Like sometimes the hospital physicians ask us that what sample size we should take, minimum sample size in case of convenience sampling. So what
Yeah,
is there
yeah,
any cutoff for that?
yeah, there is a cutoff. I will tell you. For statisticians, usually give the
30, usually they say that 30
yeah,
is enough. Is it so?
yeah, 30 is the cutoff for so that we can do the inferential statistics. 30 will be one cutoff. And every multiple variables are there. No, you can put each variable should have minimum 20 samples. If
20
three
in
variables
each group.
yeah, 3 variables are there, means 3 multiplied by 20, 30, 60 will be enough. Otherwise, one variable only, one independent and one dependent variable, you can go for 30 as the minimum.
And if it is case control studies, so 30 in each group, 30
Yes.
30 cases, 30 controls.
Case control, you need to calculate, Prof. Calculate using OpenAPI software. So that depends on the how much is the exposure rate we are expecting. We cannot take a number for case control.
Okay.
So we have to calculate only. So this one more software I will introduce you is G-Power. Okay, you just go to Google and type for G-Power software. Okay,
It is free of cost, sir. It is
yeah,
free.
it is free. It is free of cost. Okay. So, you can download that software. So these are the download button is there. Okay. So for you are using Apple or Windows, you can download it. Okay. So it will look like this. I will open that software after you download it, So this one. So this one I will share with you in the chat box. So this is for G-Power. After you download, you can just click on what type of study, what type of analysis you are doing. Okay. So, if you are doing chi-square test, chi-square test, you are comparing two proportion. You have to click on exact. Okay. Then you have to choose proportion. Okay. So Fisher exact test, that means two independent groups. You are comparing the proportion. You are comparing the proportion of two dependent groups. Okay. You are comparing the proportion of two independent groups. Okay. So you can choose that. Then you need a sample size, right? So you can look for proportion in group 1, proportion in group 2. So you are putting like that. Maybe in group 1, no, group 1, 40% have the proportion, 40% have the outcome, 0.4. And a group 2, you are having Okay, this one. So power is 0.8. So sample size in group 2, yeah, this one is actually 1:1. Yeah. So that's a sample size. So you can put that.
Sir, suppose we have to compare, we are comparing two drugs, right? And
Yeah.
both the drugs are completely new, and we want to see like anti-tubercular drugs, some new drug is there, and we want to compare which is more efficacious.
Okay.
So in that case, what has to be put as the outcome? Like we don't know, we are completely aloof of that.
So two drugs are there, right? So
Yeah.
outcome is actually continuous outcome or categorical?
Uh, Categorical, like improvement in the symptoms, symptomatic and clinical improvement.
So that one you please do that. What is that? OpenAPI, you go for that cohort or randomized control trial option. So cohort or randomized control trial option in the exposed group, what is the outcome? Not exposed group, what is the outcome? So group 1, what is the outcome you can give, and group 2, what is the outcome you can give.
So like outcome is not known. No? In that case, is it like in cross that is cross section? Oh, sorry, that sample size calculation for cross sectional, we assume that prevalence, if not known, should be kept as 50%. Similarly, if the outcomes are not known, then what to put as a expected outcome?
So what type of study design it will be?
If suppose it is RCT.
Yeah, RCT, you have to click on OpenAPI and click on RCT or cohort, that option. Then you put this two-sided power and all, percentage of unexposed with the outcome. So that's one group. So if we don't know, right, what is the outcome? Using previous study, you cannot get what is the outcome.
No, suppose some new drug has been
New drug means
COVID vaccines were prepared, and we want to know what is the efficacy of the Corbevax. Then what to put in that case?
So you look for, because what we usually do, we cannot put an arbitrary figure. You have to look for the what class of vaccine it is, and which is more similar to that category. You have to find out which is the most near to that, maybe killed vaccine or component vaccine or mRNA vaccine, what type it is, and you just which is having the efficacy similar, because some previous study may have done or some article may have given which is effectiveness or something, then you please put the value which is similar to that. Okay, we cannot put
some studies.
50%.
Yes, sir. Some studies use 50% arbitrary value for this, for the outcome, like 50% they take as the arbitrary value for a new drug. So is that a correct practice?
Yeah, in proportion they put 50%, because if unknown use 50%, no. So we can, why they are putting 50%, no? When P is 0.5, the sample size will be the highest. So you
Okay.
can put like that, huh?
But in RCT, can we put
In
50% as arbitrary value?
No, we cannot. RCT means we need to get some justifiable near values, sir. Compared to the previous study, you try to get a justifiable near to that value.
You mean to say that if some new beta blocker has been invented, then and we don't know that what will be the outcome with this drug, the nearest beta blocker which
Yeah,
has been studied
previous.
previously, its result should be implicated over here. I
Yeah,
mean, should
previous.
put over here.
Previous nearing to that category, right? That
Okay.
which beta blocker nearing to that, maybe latest one, maybe levodipine or something like that, and if nicardipine or something, which is the latest one, you have to take that.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, that will be okay, right? So you can download the G Power, and for t-test also you can check t-test. So difference between two independent means, difference between two dependent means, you can click on that. Dependent means paired t-test, right? So before and after values, then you can use difference between two dependent means. Difference between two independent means independent sample t-test. So you can use that. Okay. So participants, before we close this session, you please give me one. You please answer one feedback. Huh? This is actually the course evaluation. So please answer to it. Huh?
It can be answered through this chat box link only.
Yeah, that link. Okay, 1 minute. So this you can open it and you can take your time also. Yeah, this one Miss Chinman will send you the through email also. Okay. So when the video files are uploaded, she will send you a link. Along with that, I will request her to send this evaluation form also. Okay.
It has to be answered then, na, when it will be mailed. Right, not right now.
You can answer now also, no problem. So
Okay.
this will be because that is one requirement for your completion.
Okay.
So these are the name, contact number, course name. Course name means it will be research proposal development. You have to duration of course. Days will be 2 days. So you have to put trainer's name. You have to put Dr. Sandeep. Okay. So first one. Then you have to give the your experience and what expectation you have. Okay. So that's one thing. And one more thing that files I have shared with you, right? So you.
So this form will take time. Can we fill it when we get it on the mail?
Yeah, sure. You can take your time. I was just sharing with you. So you can take your time. And the this box file also you can open it and keep it, and this will be the files for the workshop.
Sir, the box file has 3 files, right?
Yeah, 3 files are there.
Along with that, video recordings will be shared later.
Yeah. 3 files are there. Along with that, today I will upload the video recordings. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
It was very informative workshop, sir.
Okay, thank you. I
Many
also
of our doubts have been cleared.
okay.
Sir, we wish that you take one for systematic review and meta-analysis as well as qualitative research if possible.
Okay, we'll be in touch. So you please note my email ID and we can be in touch also. Okay. So you
Yeah.
whatever you need, you can share with us. Okay.
Okay.
Sir,
Okay.
even you can share your contact number also with us, mobile number. If we
Sure.
have any query,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can
Dr.
contact us and
Dear,
contact you.
yeah, sure. Dear Sandeep at gmail.com. Okay. This is my email ID. Okay, personal email. And this one, this is Malaysian number 6017590928. Okay, this is my Malaysian number. Okay, actually it is plus 6017590928. Okay, this is my number. Okay, you can save it.
Sir, just wanted to know that if that regression analysis which is going in there to be in the March, the timings will be same, like 1:30, or can it be towards the later end?
No, that one is having 4 hours a day, not 2 hours. 4 hours a day multiplied by 2 days. So total will be 8 hours.
Okay, so the timings will be same only, like 4 to 6 Malaysian time. Oh, sorry, 4 to 8 Malaysian time.
No, actually it is 2 to 6 Malaysian time.
6 Malaysian.
Not 4 to 6, 2 to 6 Malaysian time for 2 days.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, okay. Okay, then we can stop today's session if everything is fine.
Okay, sir. Thanks.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you, Dr. Sandeep.
Thank you. So, yeah, stop recording.